So, welcome back, dear student, again in the second part of the same chapter, number 17, questions. So, in this video, we'll basically discuss about the next type of the questions, that is WH questions, then alternative questions. In the previous video, part 1, we have discussed about yes no type of question, that is am is are, we frame with the same questions with the help of helping verbs. And we also discuss about tag questions. They are used just to confirm the sentences about it. And next we have WH questions. So one of the main ways we can call to ask question is WH word only. Like most of time WH questions are only the best way to get any sort of answers. Like if you want to ask who has done it, whom it belongs to, who is present there, and whose bag it is, or which the thing has happened, when it happened, where it happened, and how it happened. So there can be many possible reasons. So whatever judgment you want to accept it, whatever things you want to ask it, basically you can get it with just the point of view only, with WH questions only. So look at the first question. Who has painted this picture? So remember that whenever using this WH words, after that you must have to use the helping verb, like who has painted. So has is helping verb here. Then whose cell phone is this? Again here directly noun we are used because showing possession, like whose cell phone. Alright, so whose is used here. It tells you that it belongs to whom. Alright, which is the largest river in the world. So it again, after which there is helping verb is. Alright, so we say that which is the longest river in the world. Okay, then next we have when is the train expected to arrive. Again here which is showing you that it gives you choice from which you want to select it, and the next one tells you when, it tells you about timing, when that situation is going to happen, and where tells you that about the place where the thing is going to happen. So here after when as well you can find some helping verbs there. So that's the important thing to understand. After WH word you must have to use some helping verbs and questions as well. Let's go for next type of question, that is alternative questions. Now when we talk about alternative questions, these are the questions in which two or more alternatives are used. Example like, do you go to school by bus or car? So by bus and car there are two questions and they are just joined by the conjunction or attaching same questions. Okay, so bus and car there are two options. Such a questions we call them as alternative questions. Next we have, would you like to have tea or coffee? So there are 2 points, tea and coffee. Next one, is the road narrow or wide? So again two options, narrow or wide. So whenever you have two alternatives, two options, such a questions are called as alternative questions. I hope dear students the questions types are clear to you. Now let's discuss about the exercises given in textbook, exercise number A, B and C. I will not discuss all the questions here, but the few questions which are important here, and that will provide you the idea how to frame a questions here, because practice can only give you the way to frame a questions. So we have the first question statement, Sunil has bought a pen. This is a sentence. Sunil has bought a pen. So how to frame a question of this sentence? Very simple. Just that has, you have to use in the beginning has. Sunil bought a pen. So use has in the beginning and start that has Sunil bought a pen. Next question, yes you may leave the room. Yes you may leave the room. That's just answer only statement. So when you frame a questions, so we can write that yes will remove from that while making a question here. May you leave the room. So that auxiliary verb may will be used in the beginning. So may you leave the room. Next, no you cannot go to school now. So while framing this question, remember that cannot is given. So when you frame a question, negative question, we use first can, then we use subject and then not. Are you getting it? Like can I not, should I not, must I not. So we have to use first auxiliary verb, then the subject, he, she, it, you, whatever, and after that not you have to use. So the question becomes in this form, like, can you not go to sleep now? Next one, Sham is ill. So we go for answer like, is Sham ill? Okay, just the same, very simple. Helping verb is mentioned here, so that same you have to use in the beginning. Whenever the helping verbs are mentioned, it's very simple to make a question. Now, remaining example you can practice. So let's go for exercise number B. In this, what we'll do, we have to add some tag questions so that the given statement can be turned into the questions. Remember that if the sentence is positive, the question tag will come negative. Alright. And whatever helping verbs are given, that same will be made as negative verbs. Like, he lives all alone in the house. He lives all alone in the house. So here, lives is given, example of simple present tense, and helping verb is not mentioned, am is are. So what we'll do, we'll take the do or does form from present tense. So he is used. For that purpose we use does. Okay. So negative form will use doesn't. And after that, the subject, he, will be used here. So doesn't he. Then next one, Tarun is an honest man. So we'll say that isn't he. So it is mentioned here. So we'll use isn't he. He did not sleep all night. Now here look at that. The sentence is negative. Did not. So what we'll say? Did he. Very simple. Next we have fourth one. Let us go and watch a play. Now whenever we use let's, its contraction is let's and full form is let us. So when we say that let us go and watch a play, for that question we use shall we. And if it is order, request, command like open the door, for that we use will you. Alright. Whenever we have order, request, command, we use will you. Fifth one, Shakespeare wrote many plays. So here again wrote is given, simple past tense forms, helping verb is not mentioned. So we'll use didn't he. Alright. Because wrote is here V2 form, and that's why it tells that is example of simple past tense. So have to use there did, and we must have to make it negative form. So answer becomes didn't he. Next, number 6, Sham is a good dancer. So we'll write that isn't he, because is mentioned here. So isn't he will come. We don't use isn't Sham also as well. We have to make the pronoun of that Sham into he. So we use isn't he, or isn't Sham also can be correct answer, no problem. They are good friends. So when we have this sentence they are, we'll make it negative, aren't they. Okay. And there is one point when we say about like I am lucky. So now this sentence I am lucky, so we will not make it that I am not I. Not that way, we'll make it aren't I. Remember that whenever we use I am lucky, I am. So that I am question tag will be aren't I. Make note of this, very different change in it. Now let's go for exercise number C. Turn the following statement into the questions as suggested. So they have given here some initial word like he will do something. So we have to begin with what. Then somebody rang up, we have to begin with who. So what and who, they have given some initial words. With the help of those words, we have to frame a questions. So the first question, will he do something? So the answer will be what will he do? Okay, answer will be what will he do? Then somebody rang him up. Who rang him up? Just we have to use, the answer will be somebody. So who rang him up? The same past tense. The policeman asked him something. Answer to this will be what. We have to begin with what. So what did. Now here example of simple past tense, for that purpose we use did. So what did the policeman ask him? Remember that this ed is again removed, so ask will only come there. The old man lives here. Again the example of simple present tense, lives has come there. So where does the old man live? Where does the old man live? So does will be used here, and then live will be used here. Alright, let's go for last question. Somebody's car is parked right in front of our house. So here they have said to begin with whose. So whose car is parked right in front of our house. So here somebody's car will not mention, we'll just mention whose car is parked in front of our house. So dear student, these are all questions. Now you must need to practice all these questions to frame a perfect answers of a questions. So when you will practice that to get a questions, definitely you will understand how to frame correct questions. So start practicing it and start asking correct questions. Good luck for that and all the best to prepare some questions. Thank you so much.